They said it couldn't be saved, a river so foul it choked the breath of a city. But the Thames didn't die quietly. It waited, and then it returned. This is the story of how London's dead river came back to life. They say a river never truly dies, but the Thames came dangerously close. Once the beating heart of London, the River Thames had seen it all. Roman galleons slicing through mist, royal barges gliding toward coronations, plagues whispering on the wind. Its waters carried empires, its currents mirrored revolutions. It witnessed everything and judged nothing. But by the mid-20th century, the river no longer flowed with history, it oozed with shame. The Thames became a corpse, not metaphorically, a literal, biologically dead river. In 1957, the Natural History Museum declared it devoid of oxygen, fishless, lifeless, a ribbon of sewage cutting through the heart of Britain. How does something so sacred rot so completely? The answer, arrogance. The Industrial Revolution brought factories to the riverbanks, tanneries, dye houses, slaughterhouses, each one treating the Thames not as a river, but a waste chute. Human sewage flowed untreated, coloring the watershades no river should know. Sludge green, industrial black, rust red. Charles Dickens wrote of its sluggish slime. Victorian doctors called it a flowing wound. During the infamous Great Stink of 1858, Parliament couldn't endure the smell inside Westminster. Curtains were soaked in lime, debates were shortened, breath was held, and yet nothing changed. Not out of compassion, but out of inconvenience. Sir Joseph Bazalgette, a civil engineer with a vision not just to fix a stench, but to save a soul. He designed a revolutionary sewer system, 300 miles of tunnels, dug by hand, redirecting waste away from the river. It was one of the greatest feats of Victorian engineering. And it worked. For a while, London grew. So did its pollution. By the 1950s, the old system cracked under pressure. The river festered again. Boaters described the surface as an oily rainbow. Fishermen stopped casting lines, and they knew nothing lived below. Locals held their breath walking over bridges. The Thames was once a cradle of civilization. Now, it was a cautionary tale. But here's where the story bends. This isn't a tale of death. It's a lesson in resurrection. Because the Thames came back, not with miracles, but with accountability, with regulation, with grit, with the refusal to surrender something so deeply woven into a nation's soul. In the 1970s, the UK passed stricter environmental laws. Sewage treatment plants were upgraded, illegal dumping was penalized, monitoring programs were expanded, and the river responded. Fish returned, first cautiously, then abundantly. By the 1980s, salmon were spotted again. Those notoriously demanding creatures that only thrive in clean, oxygen-rich waters. Today, over 125 species swim beneath the bridges of London. Eels, seahorses, even porpoises have returned, gliding silently beneath the same skies that once reflected only decay. Let that sink in. A river once pronounced dead now pulses with life. But this isn't a victory lap. It's a reminder. Because the Thames wasn't healed by chance. It was revived by choice. And that choice still stands before us. Not just in London, but everywhere. In the Yangtze, where dams drown tradition. In the Colorado, where agriculture drinks a river dry. In the Ganges, where faith swims beside plastic. In the Jordan, where division poisons holiness. These rivers are not myths. They are warnings, but they are also promises. Because the Thames whispers to them, you can come back too, but only if people care, only if people act, not later, not when convenient, but now. Rivers do not forget. They do not forgive, but they do respond. And in that response, they teach us something profound. That nature is not indifferent. It reflects us, our greed, our silence, but also our courage to change. The Thames is not perfect. It still faces threats. Plastic pollution, urban runoff, climate shifts. But its resurrection stands as one of the few environmental stories where hope outlived tragedy. It was once a dead river, and now it breathes. Not the breath of what was, but of what could be. A second chance, a sacred reminder, a current of hope. If this story stirred something in you, subscribe to Myths and Mysticism of Rivers. Because rivers carry more than water. They carry memory, and sometimes a redemption.